G'day everyone, welcome back. So it's been a while, I've been flat out. A lot going on with everything, work. My car is a bit different at the moment because if you've been watching my social media, we've got the world's worst kept secret happening tomorrow. But first, we got to do a few things. Look at this. It's an absolute bloody mess in here. So what I thought I'd do is, while I'm cleaning this, during the week I threw up a post on Instagram. I thought I'd do a Q&A and on my story as well. I thought I'd get people to ask me some questions. What do they want to know about me, what I do, I don't know, social media, my car, because I get bombarded with questions every day about all sorts of random stuff. Yeah, so I thought I'd clean up my shed, do a Q&A, and then wash my car, because tomorrow we go to Mitts Alloy for the world's worst kept secret. So let's rip in. I've got my coffee over there. See, this is bloody deep. Pinnacles fire tower. Might seem a bit overkill. Alright, let's get into a question. Some of the questions. Anyway, I'll pick a couple. So many questions about this drain canopy that has been happening for the last 8 months or something, 6 or 8 months. Alright. I'll give you a couple of the questions that I get asked most about. One, what suspension are you running? 2, what size wheels and tyres are you running? And how do you like the Stedis? They're literally probably 3 of the most commonly asked questions that I get. Huh? I'm in trouble with the chicken lady. Yeah, back to my questions. Stedis, yes, they're bloody awesome. I got heaps of them. I love them, can't highly recommend them enough. I did pay for them, I got a good discount. That's, yeah, I'm not saying it because they paid me or nothing, but yeah, I absolutely love them. I do use my light bar on the roof more than my spotlights because I like the flood and the spot that the light bar has. And I take the covers off on big road trips when I want big distance with the spotties. Wheels and tyres, currently I've got Dynamic Wheelco 16x8 Steelies, BFG KM3s. They are 315 75 16R. And my suspension that I'm running is Fox 2.0s in the front, custom 800-pound coils from Solve Off-Road with a custom valving to suit my car. I did a video on that, I'll link it below. Awesome bit of gear. If you got a Ranger or a BT50, I would highly recommend doing something like that. So, I don't know, go see anyone that sells that. But if you want something more like mine, go to Solve, because I'll custom tune it to your car. Yeah, in the rear it's TJM XGS 4000 leaf pack 300 constants, Fox 2.0 shocks. Here's one from Richie Chen. Richie Sen. How many kilometers on the Ranger? I've got 155,600 kilometers, I think. Something like that. with the bigger wheels, probably a lot more, but yeah, going strong. I think it's fair to say I won't need this anymore. Quickly before I actually leave this in the bin forever, the Thumper Max from King's. This is the third one I've had. I've had them both replaced under warranty. But seriously, if you're after a cheap compressor, if you don't use it as much as I actually do, it'll probably last you a long time. And I personally think it is the quickest compressor on the market. I know this because I've tested it with mates and their twin compressors and better compressors. Only thing is reliability. You never know when it's going to burn out. Hard to stay on top of it. I can't wait to have my fridge in a canopy again. For the last 2 weeks, not having a canopy, not having my fridge, I've felt so lost. How's that? Do I look normal again? I get asked heaps of questions about my hat too. It's a bit manky at the moment. I wear it every day at work, sweating up a storm. I don't know, it's been through the ringer, it's got a big hole in the top here. But the brand is a Cobra, the model is a Riverina. I think it's one of the nicest hats the Cobra make. Yeah, here we go, here's a good question. Are you going to do a trip through the Simpson Desert? Yes. In September, I'm heading up to Isa to visit me mate, Loza. And there's a whole bunch of us yeah, doing the Simo. So bloody keen to do that. I've never been to the desert. Yeah, I'm gonna film the whole thing. Should be pretty good. I'm pretty excited. 2 weeks. It's gonna be fun. I get so many questions about mitts and when this training canopy is happening. By the time this video comes out, my training canopy should be on. Here we go. Do you like being a carpenter? If you didn't know, yep, I'm a chippy. I run my own little business, but I don't do much work for private people. I do a lot of work for one of my mates, his builder, and some other work for some other blokes I know. Yeah, I like being a carpenter. It's allowed me to afford, I don't know, car, house, you know, the toys that I have and the time off that I can get. Yeah, being a subby. There was a question somewhere here about that as well. Oh yeah, how have you found being a subby and still trying your best to adventure? If I wasn't a subby, going out doing adventures and having the time off would be very hard. You kind of have to justify it to your boss, but being a subby, you just say, I don't know, for argument's sake, it's going to be snowing at Barrington Tops tomorrow, I won't be coming in. It's that simple. Only thing is you don't get paid. But I don't know, the memories and the fun times probably outweigh it for me. But who knows? I'd love to actually push this as far as I can go, and I would like this to be a part-time or a full-time thing. So that's my goal. I tell you what, it's bloody good to get rid of this. I can't wait to show you this next bloody setup. Oh yeah, this is a good question from Josh, JGOH_pro. What navigation setup are you using off-road? I used to have a HEMA HN7, which was pretty good. Very hard to use, I found. When I was in the high country with Beck a couple of years ago, we found that using paper maps is a much more accurate way of navigating in combination with the HN7. So we'd sit there, plot out our route that we wanted to go for the day or whatever, and then we'd watch the paper map and just reference off the HN7 where we were, which I found was pretty good combination. But most of the time now I literally use Google Maps, because you could put in as long as you've got service somewhere along the way and let the map load, it'll still work and take you there. So I've been finding that that's better, and it's way more detailed than those. I've never used a HX1 or anything, or any other ones like a VMS, or I'm not even sure what's out there now because I've just been using my phone. But I'd like to get another one. I just don't know what one to get. I've tried all those mud maps and the HEMA Explorer on the phone. I've probably spent $300 or $400 on apps, but I never found that they were that helpful for what I'm doing, or especially trying to find local tracks that are hard to find and aren't detailed on those HEMA or those sort of maps. So I find that every road and every track is easier to find, Google Maps. So that's what I'm using at the moment. But I will definitely set something up in the future. I just don't know what yet. Let me know down below what you're using and what works better than that. Here's a good question. Do you get annoyed with people just pestering you all the time? No, I don't. But there's sometimes it does get really annoying. The worst time is when someone sends you a message, and then the next message is a question mark, and then the next message is a question mark. That's, with social media, that's when it gets really annoying. People need to understand that you can't just drop what you're doing to answer a question. I do sometimes take a while to get back to people, and it's only because I'm so busy with doing so much other stuff, like working, and I'm getting paid to be, I don't know, build stuff for people. I don't want to sit there on my phone all day. And yeah, when I get a question mark, that's probably the most frustrating bit. That makes me not want to answer that person's question. But in saying that, I try to get back to everybody that I possibly can with the right information. It doesn't annoy me. I like helping out people, and if I can, but at the same time, I do my own research, and yes, I send questions to people asking about specific items that they might have, or something that I just didn't know existed or didn't know about. I'll send someone a question and ask. But most of the time, for me personally, I try and do my own research on stuff, which is what social media, I think, has stopped people from doing themselves, and it makes people lazy. So yeah, that's probably the most annoying part about getting pestered all the time. But I do love helping out people, and I try to answer all those questions. If you've got a Ranger or a BT50, 36mm socket is probably the most important socket you need. Changing CVs. Here's one from Dylan. Trailer or canopy set up for work as a chippy? 100% trailer. That's probably one of the best things I've ever done for work and pleasure. It's that simple. Set your trailer up, come home, unhook your trailer, you're done. So yeah, as soon as and have your canopy set up, ready to go camping. Leave your trailer at work, unhook your trailer, off you go. You're done for the weekend. Come back to work, your tools are ready to roll. Here's one from Ant. Have you done any upgrades to your transmission? The only thing that I've done to my auto transmission is I've put an oil cooler kit on it from Wyong Automatics. It dramatically dropped my temperatures, especially towing, and in summer. I probably dropped, on the freeway now I sit at where I should be at about 85 degrees, which is, I think, 85 to 88 I think is optimum running temp. Don't quote me on that, I think that's what it is from memory. So now on the freeway I've seen it in cold mornings down to 80. Yeah, made a huge difference to the temps. The only time it does get up there over, because I was seeing it on the beaches around 112, 115 degrees. Now I'm on the beach, I'll sit between 95 and 100. The only time I've seen it up around the 110 to 115 mark now is when me and Loz have filmed that Gaunt Bush pilot episode, and I was towing the track about, and it was slow going up the hill, but as soon as you get up the hill and start rolling along again, yeah, sorts itself out. So if you've got an auto transmission, yeah, would 100%, if I bought a new car, that would be one of the first things I would do to a new one. Oh, bloody hell. How's that? Oh, there we go. Got the mood lighting set up now. One thing that I get asked about all the time when I throw it on my story is, hey Az, what's that little gas burner thing that you're using to make your coffee? 360 degrees. I don't know if you can, there you go, 360 degrees. Just a little screw top stove thing that goes onto a little gas canister. Yeah, great little thing. I use it all the time at work, out in the bush. Just whip up some boiling water and make a coffee. Yeah, I think it was like 80 bucks or something at BCF. I don't know if they've still got them, but yeah, literally that's the size of the thing. Good bit of gear. I think it came with this too, but yeah, I think it came with that. So I just boil up water in that and you get like 3 coffees or whatever. Boom. Here's a good question from Schmitty 1605. Why did you do a front runner rack on the front and a rhino on the canopy? So when I originally did my car, I didn't know about front runner. Rhino rack was, I don't know, all I knew. So when I priced it all up, I said aero class canopy, rhino rack on the top, boom, done. And then a year or so later, when I did my front locker, my mate Chris owned Narellan opposite lock, and he put the locker in, and he showed me this rack that he had on his Ranger, front runner rack, and it had a table slide. And for me, one of the biggest things, one of the hardest things to store to go camping is a table. And he showed me this slide that come outside of the front runner rack, and I just went, yep, I'm getting one of those. It made sense to me. Yeah, put it on myself. Took me 6 beers before we went away on a trip to Moreton Island, and it is one of the best racks going around, I reckon. And they got heaps of options and heaps of stuff for it. Made in South Africa. Yeah, and I've actually got to change some stuff on mine because Front Runner sent me some stuff because my corners on there went a bit funny, so I've got to replace some stuff on there today, so it's one of my jobs. But yeah, that's why I went front runner, and I do prefer the front runner rack over the rhino rack. Unfortunately, my rhino rack rattled apart. I couldn't keep tightening up the screws on it, not bagging it around or anything, but my rack is, yeah, held together with roofing screws because I know they stay on. Being a chippy, and we always using roofing screws for stuff. Yeah, but highly recommend the front runner rack. It's held together with M8 lock nuts. Haven't had an issue, nothing has fallen apart on it. And yeah, for the Ranger, that's slide table, we use it all the time, and yeah, get one. How much better is this looking? Todsky. Tips for first time driving on the beach. Let your let your tyres down to 15 as a minimum. It's that simple. All you need to go forward driving on the beach is a snatch strap, set of treads or recovery boards of some type. They're probably one of the most handy things on a beach. A compressor, and yeah, let your air out of your tyres. It's that simple. Any car with four-wheel drive can go on the beach. Most people, they get stuck on the beach with the wrong tyre pressure. Let your air out of your tyres, you get a bigger footprint. It's that simple. Would you recommend the four-wheel drive Supercenter drawers that you have? They're cheap and you get what you pay for. The ones I have in my tub weighed 100 kilos or 99 kilos or something like that. Yeah, they do the job. They're very shallow. I only put them in there because of the depth. With the Aeroclass canopy, it slopes down at the back. My fridge is pretty tall. I wanted to drop them down, but if you're going to do it properly, get a custom setup. You're going to save yourself a heap of headaches. They're not really that great. I get heaps of questions about campsites, generally in the local area and some of the places that I go. I don't like giving out some of the spots that I go to because sometimes they're on private property, sometimes they're a little bit harder to get to, and that needs a little bit more research to find out how to get to those places. But some of the places that we go to are that easy and that accessible. You can get there in a two-wheel drive car. It is all over social media, but I choose not to tell people some of those spots because I want to try and keep them clean and not as busy for as long as possible, which doesn't really help when other people put certain landmarks or something on social media. But saying that, some of the spots that we go to around Newcastle are so easy to find. You can literally find it within a couple of minutes on Google Maps. So some of the spots I choose not to tell people, and yeah, because I spend a lot of time just Googling spots, watching other people's stories, looking for other spots that I've heard of, trying to find out different locations. So a lot of time and effort does go into trying to find these spots on my part, and I think that everyone else can do it. So, you know, asking me some of the local spots is going to be a bit more difficult to get out of myself and some of the people that we go there with as well. So we try to keep it on the lowdown. That's why I don't tell too many people, but they're easy to find. Oh, I think it just laid an egg. Oh, there's two of them in here. Hello, chickens. If you're not laying eggs, get out of my shed. Alright, what other questions have we got? Off-road touring life. This is a good question. Favourite YouTubers? The ones I'm watching at the moment, I do watch a lot of young bloods. Brody Moss and the boys and girls are there. He is making some epic content. Of course there's Matt Explore Life, Tyler Thompson, Aaron Offroader. They're some of the local boys I watch. And then I've just come across this bloke over the last week called, his name's Stedi, and his YouTube is Scotty's Gone Walkabouts. Let me find it. Yeah, I'm not much into hiking or anything, but he's got some cool videos and goes to some pretty cool places, and I've been watching him over the last week. So shout outs to Scotty. He's a local, well, he's not local here, but he's Aussie fella. Been watching him, and then I just watch them. I watch all sorts of random stuff. Four-wheel drive 27, 4-wheel drive 24/7 it's called now, 4-wheel drive action. Just, I don't know, I get stuck into YouTube holes and go down rabbit holes of the old YouTube and go from video to video and watch a lot of Joe Rogan as well. Just the standard stuff. Hello. What you doing? Having fun with the chickens? Alright, see ya. I get asked a lot, heaps, from out of towner people saying, hey Az, coming up to do Kili Loop, how do I get there, what's the entrance? Would love to come 4-wheel driving with ya, or love if you come out for a wheel with us while we're out there. Or when are you gonna, there's a few here, when are you gonna do me, when are you gonna do a meetup, take me for a 4B, would love to come 4-wheel driving with you. Every now and then I get some random and I'll bring them along with us. Not that they're random, I've been talking to them for a while. I try to be selective or careful of who we take 4-wheel driving with us or who I go out with, only because I want to keep it, when I go 4-wheel driving, I like to keep it on a level playing field, if you know what I mean. Like, everyone needs to have a winch, not equivalent to my car, or ability. They've got to be self-reliant, winch, recovery gear, know what they're doing. I don't want to take beginners out with us because some of the tracks that we do are very hard, and it's not that I don't want to go 4-wheel driving with everyone, I do, it's fun. And I love meeting everyone. It's just hard, and when people say come 4-wheel driving with us, I do work a lot of weekends as well. And then with the tracks that we do, they're quite easy and accessible from Newcastle where we are. And a lot of the time it's kind of, I might knock off work at 2 o'clock and at 12 o'clock I'll send a message around to people, the boys, and say, you just want to go 4-wheel driving, let's go do a quick track salvo. So a lot of the time it's also a spur of the moment, and when you're filming stuff, you can't have too many people. This takes too long, so yeah, it's hard. I don't know about meetups. I might do a meetup. Do you want me to do a meetup? That's also another thing. If it goes too big, you police, and if you did one at Redhead, they'll get in contact with you, and I don't know, starts to become a bit of a mess. So that's why I have never done a meetup, but maybe in the future, I don't know. Do you want me to do a meetup? I don't know. You let me know. Here we go. Over the last 6 months I've been getting asked a lot about the MITS canopy, terrain canopy, because I've been in there, become good mates with them all in there. When's it happening? Terrain canopy. Do you prefer a tubbing canopy over terrain canopy? I did do a video. I don't like the tubbing canopy anymore. I'm going to be working with MITS alloy now, and the terrain canopy goes on tomorrow, and I can't bloody wait. So yeah, back to that question. Next, I'm going to do another rig rundown, walkthrough, whatever you modified. I don't know what you call them these days. It's hard to be different with that. So once it's all set up again, I'll do another run through of what it looks like. Anyway, so yeah, I do get asked a heap of questions, and I'm happy to answer them all. But for now, I could keep sitting here in my shed for the rest of the day and answer questions, because there's just that many. But hopefully I've answered a few questions, and I would like to do another one of these eventually. But for now, I've got to go wash my car. I've got to change some bits. I haven't even opened up these. I said I was going to do it last week, but big shout out to John at Frontrunner. But yeah, if you got any more questions, put them down below and I'll answer them when I can. And thanks for your support for everyone. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, because I've got heaps more content coming out, and I'm going to ramp things up a bit. Try to get some more videos out to you guys. So yeah, I'm going to go wash my car. Thanks for watching. Talk soon.